This short video will introduce you to Stocktrak.com. So go to Stocktrak.com, register as a student right here down at the bottom. You're going to need two things: a credit card, which you have, and then a class code that connects you to me and all the other students in the class. And that class code is FIN 327. FIN 327, no space. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a look at, for example, your portfolio summary. So this is how you're going to start. So if you look here, this is probably the most important page here. It tells you, look, you have $1 million in cash right now to buy stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs, which are exchange traded funds you'll learn about in a later chapter. And you have the ability to short sell stocks, which is covered in chapter 2. You can buy on margin, which means you get a loan. That's why there's a loan balance here. There's interest earned from bonds and other securities that you may buy. There will be margin requirements. You'll have long positions, which means you bought securities, and then you'll have short positions, which means you shorted stocks. Again, terms that'll all pop up very shortly in this course. You'll have accrued interest associated with bonds, and so on. You'll have a market value of your portfolio, which right now, for me, is $1 million because I have not made any trades. My return is 0. Now I have buying power of $2 million, which means I have the ability to borrow an extra $1 million. I have $1 million in equity right now, cash, and I can borrow $1 million. That's what the loan and margin trading is all about. So I have the ability to buy $2 million worth of stock. And we'll learn about that when we cover margin trading in an early chapter. And then I have the ability to trade make 400 different trades. Your portfolio, my portfolio, everybody's portfolio is benched against the S&P 500 ETF. It's called SPY. SPY is the ticker symbol, and it's an ETF, an exchange traded fund that basically mimics the ups and downs of the S&P 500 index. So if you make that investment in a SPY, you just watch the news, and if the market went up 1%, your investment in that SPY ETF went up 1%, and so on. So now the next thing you want to do, once you're familiar with this and you see most things are zeroed out for the moment, let's come up here, and you're going to want to make a trade. So go under trading. Make sure you can see that here. Yeah, make sure you go to trading here, and let's trade stocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 100 shares of Apple stock. That's the action right here on the left. I'm going to put in AAPL. That's the ticker symbol for Apple shares. I'm going to buy 100 shares, and I'm going to put a market order in. Now later on, when we learn about limits and stop orders, you can do a limit or a stop order. For now, I'm just going to put a market order in, which is what I suggest you do. Take a look here. There's a bid and ask price. The dealer is willing to buy it at $128.34 and is willing to sell it at $128.40. That spread of 6 cents is the profit to the dealer, because when you buy these securities, it's virtual money. But these are real live quotes. You're buying from a dealer, basically. Dealers, where else do you get it from? You're getting it from a dealer who makes, just like a car dealer. You want to buy a car, you go to a car dealer, the car dealer buys the car low at a low price and sells it at a higher price to you. Same thing happens with securities. So there we have it. It's going to cost me roughly, come down here, almost $13,000. Now it says place your order preview. I'm going to hit click, and there it is, 12. There's the transaction. It just summarizes to make sure we got it right here. And there's buy 100 shares, market order, and then it's Apple, and that's the price, $128.35, and even fractions of pennies there, and the commission is $5. Now we want to confirm or actually make the transaction here. It says, and you can barely read it, this is kind of bad. You can barely read it here. It says your challenge requires a note explaining each trade. So I need to put in a note. Okay. I am bullish on Apple after it's split. So Apple split. A lot of people think, well, it splits. There's more demand because the average investor, instead of spending $500 per share, only has to spend $128 per share after the split. There's more demand, more people buying the stock, and so the stock is going to go up. So just follow that. We got way more to say about when to buy and how to buy stocks, but I'm just using an excuse at this point to make the trade. And so there's my notes. So this is important. Put these notes in down here and record why you picked the stock. Give us a decent reason, rationale for why you selected that stock to buy. And that'll be a record. So you always will have that. You're going to have to write reports later on Stocktrak. And you might want to have to recall what you did and what you were thinking when you made that trade. Because you may be making 20 trades or more. Some people have done 50 trades. And so you can't remember all the reasons why you bought a particular stock at a particular point in time. So there it is. Put it down in the trading notes. Now hit confirm and the transaction will have taken place. And if you come up, we should see it here in transaction history. Let's see transaction history. There it is. There's the transaction history. Now the order hasn't quite stuck yet. It'll be processed. Give it a little bit of time so they don't have we did see a price earlier, but give it a little bit of time for it for the system to update. Open positions. Well, it's an open position, right? And here it is. And it looks like I'll get it at that price we saw earlier, 128.35. Now, let's do one more transaction. I'll show you how to do that SPY ETF. You want to get a position in the S&P 500 instead of buying all 500 shares, which will take you forever. And then the question is, well, how many shares of each stock do I buy? That's even a tougher question. So why not you just hit SPY here and you type in 100, and each share is worth $350 around, see here, down here. And there's the quote. Look at that quote. Very tight. 1 penny spread there for the dealer. And I'm going to put a market order in. And I need to hit confirm. Yeah, place your order. Preview. It's going to cost me $35,000. And I'm just going to say, bullish on the market. Like I said, you probably want a little more detail than that when you put in your notes. And then hit confirm. And there we have it. Come over, up and over. You should see it in your portfolio transaction. And you come down. There it is. There's my transaction. And I'm not sure. It may take a little while for it to be updated on your portfolio summary. Let's see if it... Oh, it is. It's showing up as my portfolio summary. My cash is now down by about $48,000 from those two trades. And so far, I lost less than $19 so far. Part of that has to do with I spent $10 on commissions, so that'll drop the portfolio value just a little bit. But the stocks are going up and down a little bit, and so you watch this portfolio value. This is the main thing you want to watch, and then this will give you your total return. So the change in my return is like basically zero on a rounded basis. So I hope that'll help you. Remember, it's Fin 327.